and I'm an orange-spotted sunfish. I live in the South Platte River with about 20 other kinds of fish.
Hey.
I help Metro Water Recovery explain how they clean used water. Metro, as I like to call them, has been protecting the South Platte River, my home, for more than 60 years. Without their help, the river wouldn't have enough clean water for me and my friends to live. Water is a limited natural resource. The water we use today is the same water that was here when the Earth was formed. Think about it this way. We're still using the water that was in our rivers and lakes during the time of the dinosaurs, millions of years ago. We can use the same water again and again by using a special process to clean it. How does that work? I'm gonna tell you. But first, how does our water get so dirty? And where does it come from? The dirty water comes from homes, like yours and your neighbors. But it also comes from schools, businesses, hospitals, and industries. You all use clean water for a bunch of daily activities. You flush toilets, wash your clothes, shower, brush your teeth, and wash dirty dishes. Each person in the United States uses about 80 to 100 gallons per day. These activities add pollutants to the water, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, solids, and pathogens. Fish like me can die if dirty water is sent to the river without treatment, and people like you can get sick. The people who live in cities and towns generate more dirty water than nature can clean on its own. With so much dirty water, it's necessary to send it to treatment plants, like Metro's advanced facilities. They treat about 135 million gallons of water a day.
Whoa!
Just how much water is that? It's the same as filling between 2 and 3 million bathtubs every single day.
Wow!
Metro cleans the water much like nature does, only they use modern technology to clean it more quickly. The dirty water travels through more than 240 miles of sewer pipes. That's the equivalent of the length of 4,224 football fields. Eventually, it enters Metro's facilities at the headworks. There is another name for dirty water. It's wastewater. The first step in the cleaning process is called preliminary treatment. Metro uses bar screens to remove things that go down toilets and drains. They do this first, so the big things don't clog pipes or damage the special equipment. Metro finds a lot of things that shouldn't be flushed, like rocks, rags, wipes, toys, and even false teeth. The wastewater then goes to the grit basins. This is where small things like sand, grit, eggshells, and coffee grounds settle to the bottom and are removed. The things removed in these two steps of the process are taken to landfills because they cannot be recycled. Now, it's on to primary treatment, where the wastewater flows into big round tanks called primary clarifiers. Additional solids sink to the bottom, and the grease floats to the top and is skimmed off. Most of the grease in the wastewater comes from the food you eat. The wastewater then moves on to secondary treatment, which starts with large pools called aeration basins. These aren't pools you want to swim in. Microorganisms live in these pools, and they're doing very important work. Their job is to eat pollutants, including nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. Nutrients help plants grow strong and healthy, but when nitrogen and phosphorus are sent to the river, they also help algae grow. Too much algae makes rivers, ponds, and lakes green and stinky, and can kill fish and other wildlife. So, Metro makes sure the microorganisms can do their very important job. To do their job, these little critters need the right amount of oxygen and carbon. So Metro pushes air through the water as little bubbles. Luckily, there's usually a lot of carbon already in wastewater, but sometimes Metro has to add more to feed them all. Next, the microorganisms flow with the water to another set of big round tanks called secondary clarifiers. The now sleepy bunches of hard-working microorganisms clump together and sink to the bottom. They're separated from the water and are used to make biosolids. We'll come back to that in a minute. By now, the dirty water that first arrived at Metro looks much cleaner, but there's still work to be done. Tiny solid particles are still in the water, so it's on to tertiary treatment. Here, chemicals help those tiny particles clump together. Then, filters are used to remove the clumps to clean the water even more. We call this the polishing stage because Metro takes out pollutants the microorganisms may have missed. The last step of the treatment process is disinfection. Because pathogens can make people sick, they are removed before treated water is sent to the South Platte River. Metro does this by adding an organic compound at its Denver facility and using ultraviolet light at the Brighton facility. Just before the clean water flows into the river, it tumbles over man-made waterfalls called drop structures. Drop structures add oxygen to the river. This helps me, my friends in the river, and other aquatic animals because we need oxygen too. Remember the sleepy bunches of hard-working microorganisms that were separated from the water in the clarifiers? They were sent to anaerobic digesters. Anaerobic means without oxygen. Without oxygen, the microorganisms that clump together break down. Other friendly microorganisms kill pathogens in the anaerobic digesters, and that process makes methane gas. Metro captures methane gas and uses it to power big turbine engines. These engines generate some of the electricity and heat used during the treatment process. The mostly organic matter that is left in the anaerobic digesters becomes biosolids. Biosolids are a safe soil amendment and fertilizer. Farmers like biosolids because they are full of nutrients and help crops grow. Recycling biosolids completes nature's cycle. For many years, Metro Water Recovery has been protecting the environment by turning dirty water into clean water, recycling solids to produce a fertilizer that helps crops grow, and capturing gas to create electricity needed for the treatment process. Metro makes sure the water is safe for you, your family, your friends, and the entire community. They also make sure it's safe for me, my friends, wildlife, and the environment. Eventually, all the water will be used again, and the cycle will repeat over and over and over and over and